Hey everyone, my name is Christopher Hall. This is actually my first video, and today I wanted to talk about how to succeed in your internship, um, specifically a summer internship. So just to introduce myself, I'm a recent graduate. I've had the opportunity to intern twice, and I'm going to be accepting a full-time offer. And I'm really inspired by business coaching and by helping people. I've done it for about 2.5 years. Um, and my experience is just something strictly based off of my personal recollection. And hopefully, this could be some great insider tips for you when you kind of go forth in your internship, right? So I would have to say the first thing that really helped me was mentally preparing for an internship. Now, I know specifically this year, with what's going on in 2020, a lot of individuals are interning virtually. I've never had the opportunity to intern virtually myself, um, but I do feel like I have some great tips that may be able to help you. The first thing is, and it's something that could really be important when you start working in corporate, is to actually get your hands on a book. That's something that personally inspired me a lot. It's called Emotional Intelligence 2.0. I'm not sure if you see it backwards or. But in essence, it's a book by an author called Travis Bradberry. I'll have a link in the description, and I'll have the title name rather. And what it showcases is it teaches you how to interact with individuals and how to channel your emotions accordingly based on how you're feeling. Whether you're feeling sad, frustrated, if you're feeling unheard, um, or any other emotion, so to speak. And this is something that can help you not only in your transition into corporate slash working with other people, but it could also help you in your life as well in regards to personal development, how to interact with individuals, how to make sure that you are showcasing the best version of yourself and that you are communicating to people in a manner that is most appropriate and that also makes the most sense, right? So that's the very first thing. Another thing that I would recommend is since you are most likely going to be working from home, you want to make sure that you are surrounded by a place that makes you feel incredibly productive. So I know with me personally, I love to be around a place that is clean, that is organized, that has a lot of bright light or natural lighting. So for example, right now I'm here in my kitchen. There's a bright light above me. There is a window. I have my plant right next to me. I could see nature from outside my window. It's very calm. It's very relaxing. It allows me to concentrate. So and of course, everyone is a little bit different. You want to set the mood right for yourself so you're able to work as efficiently as possible. Another thing is, as well, depending on what form of work you are doing, you want to make sure that you have a great desk setup itself. So me personally, I interned twice as a financial analyst, and I'm going to be joining as a senior financial analyst full time. And one thing that was really helpful for me was a standing desk. So basically what the desk is you sit down and you're doing your work, but if you feel tired or exhausted and your back is starting to hurt or you feel uncomfortable, you're actually able to raise the desk up with an electronic remote where you could elevate the desk and kind of like bring it back down. In essence, just helping you be a lot more comfortable, which could, enhance productivity, right? Another thing with me is, and this is more so in regards to maybe finance or banking, or even any other internships as well. Sometimes you may have like more than one piece of information in front of you. Maybe you'll have your emails open, Microsoft Excel or a PDF that you're working on, and alongside with that, you're trying to, kind of listen into a meeting, so to speak. So I would highly recommend a dual screen or a nice, a large, HD screen itself. I would personally recommend the LG 34-inch ultra wide screen. I think it's incredible, and the quality is great, and I realize I'm able to fit, at least 3 pages of solid work onto just that one screen itself. So there is that. As far as your internship personally goes itself, you want to make sure that from day one, when you've had the opportunity to, introduce yourself to your manager and your team, and you do the, hello meet and greet, so to speak, that you not only ask your manager what your expectation or what their expectations are rather for your internship, but you also let them know what are your expectations as well, right? Are you here just to simply get experience, right, and move on to the next, or are you here because you are not only incredibly serious, of course, interns are serious about doing well, but are you here because you have the intention of getting a full-time offer, or you're interested in getting into a rotational program at the very end? Those are all very important things. So I know for me, for instance, when I interned at the company that I worked for back in summer of 2019, I was incredibly transparent with my manager, and I told him, I said, hey, I am very much so, passionate and eager to do well in this internship role. My intention is to actually join this company and join the top competitive rotational program there is out there. I would love to, not only like meet expectations, but also take upon additional work as well, for me to challenge myself and for me to elevate in regards to my skills. And that was something that became incredibly helpful for me because my manager and I were on the same page. So we were able to communicate about each other's expectations, right? And that was something that was very helpful. Another thing with me is this, and it's something that would be essential, especially now since you're doing a virtual internship. You want to make sure that you tell your manager how you like to communicate best, or what form of communication is most helpful for you. For me, it was something incredibly important for me to have transparent communication with my manager, which meant that, if there was anything that was troublesome, if there was anything that I did wrong, something that I messed up on, I would always love and appreciate transparent, critical feedback from not only my manager, but from everyone as well. That way I would learn and I would grow, and I would explicitly tell them, I would say, hey, I'm here in order to learn, to grow, to, make your job easier, to expand in terms of my knowledge and my mindset. I'm eager to explore new things. So with that being said, I'm open to criticism, no matter how harsh it may seem, because that's how I learn, that's how I grow. And people really appreciate you being your genuine self. So I would have to say, don't try to pretend to be someone that you're not. Don't try to, try to do everything and try to show like, like the most results, and try to be incredibly competitive with everyone. No, at the end of the day, you are here to, in my opinion, you are here to grow, to help the company, and also you know be in a continuously learning environment, which means, in essence, is you want to make sure that you are open to new experiences, that you are open to making mistakes, because as interns, we are going to make mistakes. Not everything that we do is perfect. Not all of our work on Microsoft Excel or on our projects is going to be crystal clear the first time, but just having a positive attitude, having a mindset of saying, you know what, I'm going to try my best, I'm going to help where it's needed, is something that is key. Another thing that I would have to say is make it a habit to network with at least 1 to 3 people you do not know every single week. And that is something that can help you immensely. So it gives you the opportunity to branch out to different team members on the same team, to different divisions, and to different teams. And it also gives you the opportunity to practice connecting with individuals that you do not know. And this can help you tremendously when you go on to your full-time careers in the business world, or in any industry as well. It does not really have to be business also. It could be in regards to tech, healthcare, etc. Another thing that I would have to say is this: take the time to build rapport with every single person on your team. Because at the end of the day, you want to know who you're working with. And also, your manager is going to be very busy. So, on top of seeing what you are doing, your manager is actually going to ask for feedback from other team members. And it's great to build that rapport with individuals so they know exactly who you are. So with me last summer, when I was interning for about 3 months, there were, I would say, roughly 9 to 11 people on my team, and I would make sure. I shouldn't say I would make sure. I did make sure that I had a scheduled phone call, or I met up with the team member in person, and I would sit down with them for coffee or lunch, and I would just talk to them about their experience, about their interests, about their passions, about their hobbies. See if we have any form of mutual interests. I would build rapport. I would always ask each and every team member if they needed some form of extra help on a project, or if there was anything additional that I would be able to take on. And I would always make sure I did this, once I completed my work. And it was something that went a very long way. Because at the end, when I received my final performance review, I was fortunate enough to exceed all expectations in regards to my internship. And not only that, I was given personal feedback as well, and a lot of individuals told me, what, Christopher, thank you so much for taking the initiative to even ask us if, if I could do anything. So that sense of, not only being reliable as an individual, but offering your help to someone can be so important. So that is something that I would have to say is essential, right? Another thing is, as well, is you want to make sure that you are taking the time to not only look at your projects, make sure that you double check your work. It's something that can actually be A lot of people, like you would expect that's a given, but you would actually be surprised as to how many people do not do that. When you are able to check your work once, twice, even three times, you're able to easily look at and say, like, okay, is everything grammatically correct? Is everything correct numerically? Did I do what I had to do in regards to my goals? Did I, perform and complete the tasks that were asked of me? These are all things that are very important, because you do not want to get a project given back to you for something that you could have easily prevented the first time. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. No one likes to go through that. So what I personally like to do, and I'll talk about it more in details, is I actually tend to keep a journal, right? So I tend to keep a work journal for a variety of things, and I'll go more into details. But one thing that I do is I would actually write down the tasks that I would have to complete for a specific project. And I would ask myself, like, okay, am I doing this efficiently? Is there a more, intelligent way to do this that would make things maybe easier for a manager to see, or for my team to see, or a higher level management to see? And, I would ask myself, am I able to implement this? Am I able to, move an effective strategy and, showcase that in my project? And that's something that's very effective because, you want to make sure that you are giving decent work, right? Of course, they're not going to expect you to, create like, a subject matter expert, type level analysis. Of course not. You are an intern. It's a continuous learning experience. But you want to make sure that you are providing decent work as well. And, oh, speaking of this journal, again, one thing that's incredibly helpful with this is it's always good to write down the day before and the morning of what are the things you have to do, when would you like to complete them by? So, like, for example, if you want to complete a specific part of your project by, let's say, 9:30 a.m., mention that. And after, talk about all the things that you want to do besides, your actual work itself. So if you want to join a meeting, feel free to put that down and schedule time for it. If you want to network with someone, feel free to set time aside for that. Things of that nature. That was something that really made things very, very efficient for me, because I would have to say throughout the vicinity of my internship, I networked with about 50, I would say about 50 or so people within the span of the 3 months. And I still had to juggle that with team meetings and work that I had to accomplish. So a journal would come in incredibly helpful. Another thing too is sticky notes as well. And I personally like to write things down. I know everybody has different preferences, so that is mainly up to you. So that's what I would mention in regards to that. And of course, with your internship as well, I feel like these are all given points, but these are all very important. Please do not look at your internship as, okay, I have the job, I could kind of do whatever I want now. No, instead, you should look at it as a continuous interview, in the sense where you are getting observed at each and every moment. So you want to make sure that not only are you taking the time to put your best foot forward, but you're also reliable, right? So you hand in your projects on time. If you tell your manager or a coworker that you are going to do something, make sure to hold yourself accountable to the specific deadline that you set. Make sure that you are on time to meetings and to the start of your workday, because truthfully, you're going to be working virtually. If you're late, that's ridiculous. It's there's no excuse for that. And most importantly, too, make sure that you are kind, that you are positive, that you do the simple things such as, saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, asking someone how their day is, talking with individuals, trying to, become the best you can. Because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter how much you know, how intelligent you are, what university you went to, what your GPA is, etc. Because if you are the type of person that is, not relatable or thinks, you know it all, it's not going to work out in the long term itself. And I've seen this from experience in the past when working part-time and when interning as well. So these are my thoughts. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments. Also be sure to like and subscribe and share with friends. The more the video is liked, the more YouTube will actually share it with individuals and they're recommended. And I am eager to talk to you guys soon. Take care. Be well. Bye-bye.